Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Friends, before going into the details of the war, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell. Please support by subscribing and turning on the notification bell. We are a strong community. Russia reinforcing Kherson with mobilized personnel in order to use them as cannon fodder. The occupiers are bringing the recently mobilized Russians to the temporarily occupied Kherson. The invaders are preparing for street clashes. This was stated by General Major Kirillo Budanov, Chief of the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine, in a comment to CNN. Russia is strengthening Kherson with recruits who have recently mobilized. They will probably be used as cannon fodder, Kirillo Budanov said. The Chief of the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine noted that the aggressor country simultaneously was taking its puppets out of the city and surrounding areas. The withdrawal of the occupying forces will accelerate when Ukraine takes the Nova Kakhovka Dam under its artillery control, concluded the head of Ukraine's military intelligence. Kazakh language club a hit with Russian speakers in Kazakhstan, amid Ukraine war. Almaty, growing up in Esil, a predominantly Russian-speaking town in northern Kazakhstan, Alexei Skalazubov didn't feel the need to speak Kazakh, the country's state language. The situation didn't change much after he moved to Almaty for work after graduating from university with an agriculture degree. Everyone communicated in Russian where Skalazubov lived, his family, friends, classmates, colleagues, and clients. But Skalazubov, 25, says it didn't feel right that he couldn't speak Kazakh, the native language of the country that 3 generations of his family have called home. The issues of identity, language, and patriotism come, or have returned, to the forefront in Kazakhstan, especially among its sizable ethnic Russian populations after Russia invaded Ukraine on February 24. The war has also unleashed an unprecedented interest among Russian speakers in Kazakhstan to learn Kazakh, Skalazubov says. He adds that he has used the opportunity to realize his dream of opening a free Kazakh language school, a plan he first announced on social media in March. Offers of support poured in, with several teachers and others volunteering to teach Kazakh for free. Young entrepreneurs, culture centers, and other organizations offered their spaces to be used as classrooms rent-free. Others helped with the costs of printing teaching materials and brochures. Skalazubov says he initially thought a maximum of about 40 people would join his language classes, which began on April 15. He was surprised when some 300 people expressed interest. Soon the project, now called Battle Bowl, Be Courageous, spread to other cities across Kazakhstan. Unorthodox methods. Skalazubov prefers to call his meeting places a Kazakh language club instead of describing them as schools or classes. He wants the clubs to be a place where people learn Kazakh in an informal setting and focus on the words and phrases they use in their everyday lives. With no experience teaching, Skalazubov has used his own life experiences with the Kazakh language as a tutoring method in the club. Kazakh was part of the teaching curriculum at his school and university, and he also briefly enrolled in a private language class. Despite learning a relatively strong vocabulary, Skalazubov says he didn't speak Kazakh. The schools were more about grammar than actual practice speaking, Skalazubov recalls. Skalazubov says he started speaking Kazakh when he moved to a mainly Kazakh-speaking neighborhood near Almaty's Central Mosque in 2019. Most of the people around were religious ethnic Kazakhs, and most of the workers in a cafe that I frequented were fluent both in Kazakh and Russian, he recalls. I tried to speak Kazakh with waiters. I already knew the Kazakh grammar in theory very well, but I lacked real-life practice. His language clubs offer plenty of practice to their members. The format of the club is arranged so that people start talking straight away. We use dialogues that are vital in our daily lives, such as shopping in a grocery store or buying food in a cafe, Skalazubov explains. Most of Skalazubov's students are ethnic Russians who have lived in Kazakhstan most of their lives, as well as ethnic Kazakhs who went to Russian schools and don't speak their own language well. Russian remains an official language in the former Soviet country, where even many ethnic Kazakhs, including government officials, speak Russian more fluently than Kazakh, although that situation has recently been changing. Anastasia Rakshupkina, a 22-year-old journalist from Almaty who joined the Kazakh language club in April, says she wasn't able to speak Kazakh, despite learning it in school. Previously, I studied grammar. Here, we are learning how to say or ask for something in Kazakh in shops or restaurants, she says. After classes, we often go out to eat together, and we order food in Kazakh. Now, I communicate in Kazakh on public transport, too. It has now become much easier for me to speak Kazakh. Changing attitudes. The clubs became instantly and unexpectedly popular as thousands of Russian speakers in Kazakhstan decided to learn Kazakh, a trend Skalazubov and some club members linked to the political atmosphere created by the Kremlin's war in Ukraine. Battle Bowl. Clubs now operate in Oryol, Pavlodar, Semi, Shymkent, Talgar, Taraz, Karaganda, and the capital, Astana. Skalazubov has become more active on social media since the war in Ukraine began, criticizing the Russian invasion and saying that he calls Kazakhstan his home country and would fight for it if needed. Russian industry is sinking. The 28th of October 2022. Some sources say that the margin of safety is running out and the system has begun to deflate. Others say the sanctions have finally taken their toll and the industry has failed to rebuild. It is reported by Railway Supply magazine with reference to Denis Devgopoli Facebook page. An interesting situation with RZD. Most of the ways and directions of communication were laid and maintained on the basis of long-term relationships. Everything has been optimized for it. And now everything has changed and Russian railways simply physically cannot rebuild more than 30% of the directions of transportation. According to some reports, up to 45%. Most of the old consumers have lost demand, and new ones begin to conflict with existing directions. Europe has refused cargo, and Russia cannot transfer even 50% of what they could sell to Asia. You can't lay new tracks in a week. And military cargo is also a high priority by rail, which slows it down even more. They say that in October transportation will fall by 15% and this is an indicator. Attack on Kyiv near the railway station. In addition to this, the entire industry slowed down due to mobilization. Now in Russia they say that in September a drawdown of a few percent is visible, and in October this figure can reach 20%. At some industrial enterprises, production stopped for several days, as more than 30% of the employees went to the military registration and enlistment office. And some industries have simply stopped. In the ports now there is a complete mess. Even within the establishment, the number of called-ups is estimated at more than 500,000 people, and, according to their own estimates for the month, about 10 million people missed at work for at least 3 working days. Well, against the background of frustration, there is a drop in productivity even for those who work. Estimates are 10 to 15% for those who work with their hands, 10 to 15% for those who work with their heads, but with daily KPIs, and up to 50% for those who work from 9 to 18. These are monstrous numbers that will be hidden in statistics, but it would be hard to hide. Diplomatic efforts should be made to ease Russia-Ukraine tension. All related parties should step up diplomatic efforts to promote easing tension in the Russia-Ukraine conflict and hopefully resolve it as soon as possible, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin said on Friday at a press briefing. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.